Happy New Year's, Home Strengthers. It's Brian here. Today I'm going to talk about my accomplishments in 2014 and my goals for 2015. So first off, I'd like to thank all of you that have subscribed in 2014. I wouldn't do this without you guys. So 2014 started off with bodybuilding. At the time, it was relatively new to me. I just started bodybuilding in October of 2013. So finding programs was a new thing to me as well. So I started off with JE Fit. It is a Android app and now an iOS app on your cell phone, and I just looked up random programs on there and did those. Then I got into DTP. At the time, I think it was relatively new. It's a hard program. You have to have a lot of push and a lot of internal motivation to get through it. I probably didn't go as hard as you're supposed to when I did it, but now that I've gone through more than a year of bodybuilding, I think I could now. Y3T was the next program I did, probably my favorite of last year. It's a program designed by Neil Hill, and the goal is to attack each fiber of your muscle to increase growth, and I think it did. Then on to the 5-3 program. So I took a break from bodybuilding to go back to strength training for a while. 5-3-1 is probably one of the best known strength training programs, and the reason I like it over the old approach that I was doing was that I saw far more gains doing 5-3-1 than I did ever doing the powerlifting that I had been doing. When you plateau, or at least when I plateaued in powerlifting, I'd step back a little bit and then try again, and most of the time it was a fail, and my bench press was stuck at 225 for a good year or two. Then I went on to 5-3-1 and blew through that plateau and got pretty far before I hit a plateau. And the interesting thing about 5-3-1 is that you take a fairly big step back when you plateau, about 3 weeks weight wise, and if you do the program you'll understand what I'm talking about weight wise, and then you work your way back up. So in other words, 3 weeks after you jump backwards, you'll be back at the weight you were that you plateaued at, and hopefully by then you can break through that plateau. So after about, I think, 6 weeks of 5-3-1, I went on to another session of Y3T. Like I said, last year it was my favorite program for bodybuilding, so that's why I did a second run at it. So my fails for 2014 was I tried a big bulk. Most of the time, I think the highest my body fat has ever been was 12 or 13. So anything over that is considered a big bulk. So I went up to 185, which I think was about 18%. And then I attempted to cut back down. And the way I cut back down was through fasting. And at the time, and I think most of last year, fasting was quite a popular thing. It works, but I don't think I did it right, because I didn't increase my protein enough, I don't think. And I even in that case, I wouldn't do it again, because I don't think it's worth it for your body to go through that massive change I went from 185 down to 160 because of how much weight I lost. Scooby and Chris Gethin and most of the bigger guys, they tend to be under the idea of you put on your weight slowly so that you don't put on much fat in the first place. And there's a lot more articles coming out that even backs that fact up, that if you maintain a lower body fat percentage, then you will put on more muscle mass. So that's how I am going to do 2015. So my goals for 2015 was, I started the year off with DTP Extreme. So far, I love this program far more than I did DTP. He starts off the program with Y3T, and then he goes into a week each of Y3T, a week each of GVT, FST7, and another one which is slipping my mind right now. And yeah, I really enjoy the program so far. I'm now into the DTP Extreme weeks because I have a home gym. I can't do the, or I guess I can't say I can't, but I opted to skip the Y3T weeks mainly for two reasons. Because in this program, Y3T is huge machine dependency, and the second part was because I had just finished off Y3T for the second time anyway, so I passed on that. My goal is to put on 10 pounds of muscle between now and December 31st of this year. I'll probably revisit 5314 at least a good 6 months at least, because you don't really start seeing gains until after that time because of how slowly the program progresses. And I also want to work on improving my cardio and endurance. This is probably the first year I've started working on cardio endurance. Within the last 3 months, I've started jogging and actually enjoy it. So I will continue with that. Now that it's freezing cold outside, I don't know how much I'm going to get done outside, but I try to get out as much as I can, and I'll continue to work towards that goal. So to end off, big thank you to all my subscribers again. How about you guys post up your goals for 2015 and what your accomplishments were in 2014. I find that if you put it down in writing on like a public place, you're more accountable to it. If you guys have any questions or examples you want me to do, please post in the comments below, and I will get a video out of either answering the questions or doing examples of exercises or workouts that you guys want to see. Please subscribe and like the video. I really appreciate it, and thanks again for watching.